Adam.
Hi, welcome back to another episode. You boys love Exchange 3, what feels like the longest show on the face of the earth.
Yeah. When the panel was like, there's 3 more episodes, she was crying. I was like, girl, I feel like I've been watching the show since October.
Wasn't the first episode like the last
day of the year? Yeah.
The year?
We were still watching we just watched the OnlyFriends finale.
We had just watched the infamous OnlyFriends
New Year's
finale.
episode, the famous New Year's episode.
The famous New Year's episode. That's really why we planned it the way we planned it. Before we get into stuff and nonsense, let's highlight a listener comment from last week. Flute Weed.
Yes, honey.
Says, how do we get Sangjeong on Big Brother? Now, Big Brother, traders.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
I think
she'd be a great trader.
Oh, she would win.
It's so crazy because we at the top we literally were like, I don't know if gaslighting is the word. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what's crazy about this show? Is that I don't know who's gonna pick who at the end of the show.
Totally.
I mean, especially since Jeju, it is so topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
The world is upside down.
Yeah, Pandora's box, bitch.
Right.
You don't know.
The world is so crazy. At this point, I don't know who's gonna pick each other, but I know who people are not going to pick. Mm-hmm. Jeong is not picking Kwangtae. I don't think Kwangtae is picking Jeong.
No.
Now, I will say somebody on our watch from today, we watched the episode, we reacted to it on Patreon. Someone said that Jeong is like
Drama-free purr.
Drama-free purr.
Drama-free purr.
That's
and we
great.
need and you know what? It takes all types, to build a.
We couldn't have 12. We couldn't have 12
Jeongs. We couldn't have 12 Sangjeongs.
Correct. We need a balance. And that's really the harmony of life, is a real balance to the ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And that's why you should be worried about the honeybees that are not surviving.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this episode, which is going to consist of the planning of the match dates.
Yeah.
Texting as always. And then
debauchery once again.
Goofery.
The sun sets and brains turn off.
Buffoonery.
No dates happen
It
in
is
this
so
episode.
funny because
Isn't that crazy?
the show will start. The episode will start. It's morning. It's a new day.
It's a new dawn.
It's a new life. One could say,
Yeah.
and I think people have. The day will start, and they will be like, today I am going. Except for Juwon, we'll talk about that. Today I'm gonna be smarter. Dong-jin goes and is like, we're gonna have a talk before we start drinking today. People start each day with the best intentions of being like,
Today
will not be dumb.
I will not be stupid. I've really learned my lesson. I've had a lot of thinking. I'm going to talk to people before we start drinking. So that way it's a clear mind.
You could also just not drink. That is an option.
But it truly is they smell the meat. The moon is out.
I mean, listen, if you're barbecuing,
you gotta
have a soju. You gotta have a Cass Fresh.
But you don't have to keep drinking until 5 in the morning.
No, you can just have one.
Yeah.
It's called temperance. Wait, no, temperance was
No.
Temperance movement was completely out, right? That was temperance?
Temperance is like moderation.
No, it's not.
The word temperance?
The temperance movement.
Are you talking about
Somebody's not very well versed on his 19 teens.
Like the bootleggers
American
and
history.
shit?
Yes, like the women's suffrage temperance movement, which were kind of they coexisted. Abstinence from alcoholic drink is the first definition. The second definition is the quality of moderation or self-restraint.
So, bitch, we're both right.
Yes, but mine was first. Today's the barbecue day. Everybody's very excited, except for
Kwangtae's jumping up and down.
Kwangtae's jumping up
He's
and down.
literally running to the rooms like, it's barbecue day. It's barbecue day.
It's Christmas for Kwangtae.
Christmas for Kwangtae. And it's meat.
A meat salesman. And I'd purchase.
Mama, I'd purchase the meat. Where's the beef?
Yeah. Arby's.
Uh-huh.
We have
the meats.
Juwon has decided that he's going to crack open the book that Seokhyun gave him in his X package from episode 1. And it was, so as a reminder to everybody, she gave him back the book he got her
to apologize
for a fight.
And now he's looking
And now he's looking through it, reading it, and he's seeing all these notes she wrote to herself. And he's reminded of these warm, happy memories.
The tethers, bitch.
It's full us. The tethered.
It's that song from This Is Me Now, where they're like tethered on the rope in that paso doble.
Oh, This Is Me Now, J-Lo. Yeah. Yeah, that was a movie we watched. That is what that was.
And you can play it right now, right here. Yeah. He's just like...
Which is weird because yesterday I felt like he was annoyed with her.
Yeah.
Because he had the whole thing with Hyewon where he like realized that
she's
she was
wishy-washy, she's been lying.
The webs were weaving.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But every time they have a conversation and they have a fight, it always goes back to him being like, I came here to get back together. And you didn't want to when I first came in, so I was pissed. So now I'm going to try to move on. And then now you're... He keeps bringing it back. He keeps being like, I would much rather get back together. That's the behavior. He feels like it's the path to least resistance, but that's not how life should be.
It's so weird because I haven't seen anything on this show from the two of them
that has been like, I'm that proves that they need a second chance.
The sweet like energy I'm like, whatever.
The most I get is their like playful banter.
They have banter. They do have banter. And maybe that was it. Maybe that was like their whole thing.
Their whole thing. They're having fun.
Because they're like, they have...
But when they get to anything deeper than that, it's mess.
Can we talk about... We are going to spend so little time on these two.
Yeah.
Because the horse is dead. And it's been beaten to death.
And it's been beaten to death.
And they are the ones doing the beating.
And at the end of the show, they will pick each other.
And you know who I'm talking about. Let's say it together. Sangjeong and Minhyung.
Oh, we're going least to most.
We're doing something because we have to discuss that they have the whole episode happens. They even they text each other in this episode. And they're like, we didn't fight today. I'm so proud of us. You should not be proud that you went one day without fighting.
That's not an accomplishment.
Wholly embarrassing. I am not saying this to be like, whatever people I'm truly not like that is not an accomplishment. That's a problem in your relationship.
Yeah.
Genuinely. And we are very different where we do not fight at all.
But honey.
But at IKEA, I'll tell you what, that's where we fight.
We
fight in an IKEA.
We fight in an IKEA in front of
God. The country.
Hundreds of white people.
Oh, the suburbs.
The suburbs.
Yeah.
Suburbs finest.
They are having a conversation about how the time is ending so soon. Mm-hmm. And they feel like they want to still explore Jeju. Because even though they're in Jeju, they're not doing Jeju activities.
Yeah.
Unless they go on dates, fine. So they were saying like, oh, I'd like to spend a couple more days once the show ends.
When show ends, yeah.
And he's saying, but aren't you all leaving when the show's ending? Because for him, and in Min Hyung's defense,
I have to.
he has to go back and operate on people's bodies.
Yeah.
He doesn't just get to like leave his job for 3 weeks.
I'm not on leave. Yeah.
Right.
This is the PTO.
Sangjeong answers and just says, oh, I don't know. And he's like, you don't know. And she's like, no, I don't know. Like she doesn't, I am not a sangjeong when it comes to travel. I need to know my plans. I need to know my itin.
I need to start and an end.
Right.
Yeah.
I have the whole like the flight is at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So doors close at 6:45.
Uh-huh.
Doors open for the flight
Yeah.
at 6:15. So I need to get through security by 6 o'clock, which means I need to get to security by like 5:30. And then like the full work backwards. Okay. Sangjeong, I already feel that's fine. And it's fine. But the problem is like, he doesn't think it's fine. Because then he's like, can we talk? And he's
As if
like,
she has offended him.
and he's like, you were so cold in the way you said, I don't know. And she was like, but I don't know. How else do you want? I don't know. And he was like, yeah, but you didn't have to say it like that. Girl, if you do...
Literally, our eyes roll back so far back behind I just... Ain't you tired?
No. This show has been going on longer than their relationship was in totality.
Uh-huh.
And they're going 100% going to pick each other at the end of the show. And they are going to have to package it. The production team is going to have to package that moment like it's sweet.
Sweet.
And we're all
they
rooting
tried it
for
today.
them. And mama, I am not rooting for them. I'm rooting for the visiting team. Boot. It's a boot.
Because production added these like cutesy wootsy music to them while they're fighting. And then
when I heard that was when I was like, they're picking each other
because they're trying to
they
build
have
an
to start
narrative.
setting up that.
And then
cute.
later that night, as they're going to bed, Sangjeong is like complaining to Seokyeong, and Seokyeong is like, but that's just love, honey.
Oh, and you know what I'm not gonna do?
Listen to Onni. It's love. Love makes you nag. Love makes you annoy.
If you are
Who said it?
If you are a person who knows any of these people who willingly went on this show, I would not take a word of their relationship advice, not because they have exes or anything like that, because why are you doing this for the public? Like, genuinely, all these people are bonkers in the way that like I'm absolutely being fed entertainment, but like we need to keep the like doling out of advice to a very, very discreet minimum.
Yeah. Be more like it's tough, but you have to make your decision. Be consoling.
There is a way to, there is a way to do it without being like, oh, sometimes men just nag and it's part of the woman's lot. What? So just as a reminder, if people nag at you, it is not like, it means they care.
No.
There's more going on.
There's more going
on. It doesn't mean that they don't care, but there's other works afoot.
Mm-hmm. Now, when they nag you at IKEA,
we're done talking about Sangjeong
I
and
can't
Min Hyung.
talk about them anymore.
At least for this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the only thing I'll say. Min Hyung chose Seokyeong for his match date.
To not match.
And they didn't match. And Sangjeong chose Juwon.
To not match as well.
And did not match. Okay. We're done. Do we want to say anything about Chongun, who has decided that she's going to be easy breezy beautiful cover girl?
She's drama free, but she also picked Juwon for her match date because she's like, and texted him because she felt like they had some vibes in their date. Juwon even was like, I was like completely surprised. and I was very grateful. When you see the words grateful,
Ooh, it's not good. It's not bad, but it's
not
not
good, but it's not good.
The feelings are not reciprocated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which for Ju-won, I wish he just could open his horizons a little bit more, because I just don't see a successful path for him, unfortunately.
He's gonna pick Sangjeong at the
He's
end
gonna
of the
pick
show.
Sangjeong at the end. In this episode, okay, jumping to Ju-won. In this episode, he literally has a conversation with Yoo-jung.
Yes.
And was like, they have this conversation that's like, it was nice, wasn't it? Like all of our dates, and we really clicked. But it feels like right now at that moment, they're both going to pick their exes. Without like saying it, but they both kind of gave like we had our good time.
It felt conclusionary.
It felt conclusive.
Conclusionary. You know.
Conclusionist.
Conclusionosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ju-won basically was like, because I feel like it's
Conclused.
I cannot break away.
No.
She can't spread her wings and learn how to fly. She can't do what it takes till she touches the sky. Mm-hmm. She can't make a wish.
I think Ju-won. Okay. I think Yoo-jung is not going to pick Changjeong. I can't tell.
It is so
the way
crazy.
this episode ends, too.
I know,
Yes.
because we're both like, Yoo-jung is so sure of herself, but since Jeju, she has been so vulnerable. And has let Changjin in a lot more than I think she expected to.
Yes. But I also think...
But I think because Jeju means so much to their relationship.
Totally. I think, too, though, that her and Changjin are, of the 6 couples here, they are the one...
They're the ones that I would root for to get back together. Genuinely.
Yeah. They're the ones where it was like, he was the one who messed up. And it seems... we don't know, but it seems like he's like been like, I really fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was the one who messed up, and like acknowledges that there were mistakes that he made and has like grown from them.
But at the end of the episode, Yoo-jung is with Ju-won and Changjin. They're all just kikiing, they're all talking, and Ju-won was like, yeah, when I was dating Seokyeong, we just ate everything that she wanted to eat. So I got tteokbokki every time, blah, blah, blah. And Yoo-jung all of a sudden just started being like, Changjin never wanted to get Korean food. I only had to eat burgers and pizzas. And he was kind of like, not standoffish, but just like, yeah, it was us. But Yoo-jung was like, and that reminded me that he was never flexible enough to do things that I wanted to do. And then at the end, she basically says like, I wish I could
text Ju-won again.
I wish I could just text Ju-won. Take back my text to Changjin.
But she did that whole sequence though, I thought was interesting because of course she's like in a room of people, so it's not like she's gonna like yell at him.
She's not gonna be, yeah.
But the way she presented that information, she was like kind of like a little jokey about it. I don't think she like is as annoyed as she was like, I think she was like kind of doing a bit. But I don't, because like their relationship did not end because of that. Their relationship ended because he wouldn't let her in and like be open and vulnerable with her.
Yeah.
And that was like what brought about their downfall.
Yeah.
And I think like there are things that you could be with your partner and you could be like, I dislike when you blah, 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 blah. But like you're with them because like all the good outweighs like the minor annoyances.
Or like all of those things are like more endearing about their personality versus things that you don't like about the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like him wanting to eat like burgers and pizzas.
Yeah.
And like doesn't want to eat tteokbokki. Like, I don't know. That's something that I could be that like even for us when we're like, we can both have different things at dinner. We don't have to eat the same thing if you don't want to eat this or that. That's just stuff that like when you've talked about like what things you want to change.
Yeah.
That feel like I'm not insulting you because it's like I'm changing something about you, like another couple. You know. So that's why I am rooting for them. Because Changjin, this entire episode, he's been on he's like a gentle giant. He's so dorky. He's very.
She is so cool, and he's so uncool that that's what's endearing.
He
about
completely.
He almost spilled the thing at the table. He's very goofy.
He's very goofy with her.
Yeah,
it's very endearing.
It's very sweet. I like them a lot together, and I think obviously he really likes her.
Yeah,
he's the Da-hye Changjin train is done. The train has fallen off the track.
Well, they tried to talk this episode, Changjin and Da-hye, and immediately get interrupted by all the boys. And Da-hye literally was like, I was trying to talk to Da-hye. I was trying to talk to him.
Yeah.
So I think that's still a question mark. They don't get full answers from each other.
This is the question. We are at episode 17 of 20. There's 3 episodes left. Have any of these the reason we're saying I think we're rooting for any of the exes them is because they feel like they figured out this. They've solved the problem of what caused their relationship to not work in the first place.
Yeah.
Do you think any of these other people have figured it out or could figure it out in the next 3 episodes to lead them to get back together? Sangjeong and Minhyung are not figuring it out. They're ending up together. They're not going to figure it out. They will be broken up again they're probably broken up now.
They're probably not together right now.
Correct.
But they will probably get married. It just feels like they're going to keep coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, not for the reasons to get back together, but I do think Jong-un and Kwang-tae have figured out why their relationship didn't work and are okay with it.
Yeah.
And I think Hui-hyun and Hye-won will get there. One more episode.
That one's interesting.
And they've kind of set the table that we're both going on dates. We're going to see. And then if that has compelled us to go separate ways, I think we should.
Because Chong-un and Kwang-tae, she's never going to tell him. At this point now, she's never going to tell him she loves him.
Because now
and he needs it. So that's never... Da-hye Dong-jin unfortunately spent too long in this mindset of
I need to ignore her.
Yeah,
so
that
help
on
her.
the show, but even before that, the resentment of her career taking off when his didn't. And there's just, I mean, resentment is why a lot of people get divorced.
Yeah,
especially bitch, if it's the wife makes more money than the husband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's true. So they're not getting back together. Number 3,
Juwon and Seokyoung.
They have not figured it out. Anytime they talk about it, they just dig their heels into their side.
Every time they talk, they want the other person to be like, yeah, you're right, but actually
that is what they want. Both of them want the other person to be like, you're right, I was wrong. And it's never going to happen. So enough. Who else? Huion and Hye-won.
I don't think they're gonna get back together, but I think they're gonna get to a place where it's thanks.
I mean, they've already gotten to a much better place than they were in fucking
totally
Itaewon for sure.
I mean, that's my biggest thing about Hye-won is that the person who cried in the kitchen
different person
is a different person from the girl now who is still affected by what's going on, but at least.
I was glad in this episode when she has that talk with him out in the gazebo-y area thing
where she's like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it for myself.
Well, and also she explained why she was so frustrated, why what his actions were what he was actually doing.
Yeah,
there's so few times on the show where people actually say what's happening
wrong? Yeah,
and they just talk around the issue.
Yes.
And I really appreciated that she was because you kept doing this.
You kept doing this.
XYZ. And like really spelled it out. And he was, and to Huyeon's credit,
he was like, yep, you're right. Yes.
I did.
And he kept wanting the urge to like defend himself, but then kept realizing, nope, that was still my fault. Nope.
Yeah.
So he just had to take the L. And that's the biggest problem that people have. They can't just own up to be like, yeah, I really fucked up. And the fact that you can't do anything about it. You can't go back and fix it. You just have to make the other person trust that it's not going to happen again.
So let's do
all of the concrete
Let's quickly
things.
do the match dates. Kwangtae picks Seokyoung, Yoo-jung picks Juwon, Chong-eun picks Juwon, Da-hye picks Changjin, Sangjeong picks Juwon, Min-hyung picks Seokyoung, Juwon picks Da-hye,
So
which was weird.
half of these people, the first people that you listed, picked people genuinely to be like, I would like to go on another date with him. And then the rest is like, I'd rather stay at home.
Yeah,
And be with
purposely
everyone.
picked people they knew were not going to pick them. So the only people going on a date is Huyeon, Seokyoung, and then Dong-jin and Hye-won. Okay, so then here's the texting, which was weird because they had to do these match dates and then didn't
Text.
reveal who got matched before
Until
the text.
after the text, yeah.
So Sangjeong and Min-hyung picked each other.
Good for them.
Huyeon and Seokyoung picked each other. Changjin and Yoo-jung picked each other.
He's just staring at me.
Kwangtae picked Seokyoung. Juwon picked Seokyoung. In 8 days, he finally picked Seokyoung. Chong-eun picked Juwon. Da-hye picked Changjin. Hye-won picked
Picks
Dong-jin.
Dong-jin.
And Dong-jin picked Chong-eun. And then when they cut to his talking head and he goes, I think I made a mistake.
It got to the point, this decision was so weird that the entire panel was like, does Dong-jin not understand the prompt?
Like when they're asking you if you read the instructions to the take-home test.
It says, who made your heart flutter today?
Who on the show made your heart flutter today? Period. That's the end of the sentence. What's confusing?
And he is doing all of these things that I genuinely think is one of the reasons why they broke up. He basically was like, well, Da-hye had mentioned, and we'll talk about their conversation, all of the Da-hye, Dong-jin, Hye-won conversations, but he basically was like, Da-hye was telling him like, well, your mind's already made up. And so in order to not appear like that is true, he texted Jeong-eun, who was like, let me send a text of gratitude for our dates.
Yes, because the day he went on the date
Because
with
the day-
Chong-eun, he texted Da-hye because she had cried, and he
Yes.
felt he needed to text her out of obligation because of her tears.
Yeah.
Dong-jin, we're rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
Genuinely.
Genuinely. He's fallen off a cliff.
He is overthinking the things. He is overcomplicating things that are not complicated.
I will say this. I think Dong-jin is very concerned that he is going to be edited to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
I think he's very concerned about the edit.
I think he already feels that he is the quote unquote bad guy, especially since Da-hye is so emotional.
That's what I mean. Because last year, Yuman got the I will say villain edit. It's not a villain edit, but he got a villain edit. Or the public reaction was to villainize him because Haeun was so incredibly emotional and distraught about the end of their relationship. And understandably so, it was a 7-year relationship. They seemed to be like really in love, blah, 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 blah. And so he turned out to be like the bad guy because he really liked another girl on the show.
Yeah.
and he was like purposely being very cold to Haeun in a similar way to Dong-jin, where I think Dong-jin's whole thing was like, I don't want to lead her on. I
think Gyumin and Haeun were in worse places. I think because she genuinely was like, I need to get back with you.
Haeun came on this show last year, and she was like, a woman with a mission.
I'm getting my ex back.
I'm getting my husband back.
Da-hye, I don't necessarily felt that that's her main intent.
No.
But she was open to figuring out what they could do.
I would say
but
if there
Dong-jin does not want that at all.
No.
He wants it completely shut. He's here for the show in order for both of them to move on.
Yes. I think he is like, he said like he wanted to do the show so that she could have a chance to like meet other people.
But the prompt of the show is to see, could you move on, or would you give your ex another chance? That's part of the show. That you are an opportunity.
There is like a level of like, I don't like when people come on like Minhyung and Sangjeong and they're like, I only am doing this to get back together. Because it's like, girl, then just do this in private somewhere else. I don't need to see this.
Don't force us to spend 30 minutes this episode just watching them fight back and forth.
So but I also don't like when people come on the show and they're like, I am not even entertaining the notion of getting back together with my ex. And sometimes that in their head is just like they're building up. They're built up.
Yeah.
They're building up in their own head to like.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Have a
defensive wall. Yeah. So, and it always like, mama like Jericho, she's gonna come crumbling down.
But don't do the show with your ex. Find a different show to do.
Do you know how many dating shows there are?
Because genuinely in Korea too. Because by going on exchange, then that is a possibility that you reconnecting with your ex is part of the show.
Minhyung and Sangjeong should have gone on change days. That's the show and I would have been like, oh, this is the energy that I want to see in change days.
If they were on change days, I would be eating it up, girl.
Oh. They're unwell.
So Dong-jin has fumbled the bag so hard. Immediately after the text, he's like, I know I did that wrong. I shouldn't have done it because I knew I should have texted Haewon because she texted me. We both looked and felt
he likes her.
And you like her.
Yes.
She makes your heart fucking flutter, girl.
She does the prompt. She does what the prompt asks you,
So he literally says in his explanation, well, I know we're going to match for the date tomorrow anyway, so I thought this as an opportunity to text Jongin.
Why?
That's not the prompt.
But this isn't...
Because now that you've done that, Haewon...
This isn't like slices of pie, girl.
No. Haewon now is like, I didn't get a text from Dong-jin oppa.
So now what? And he was like gloomy at dinner. Obviously not because of her. It was like because of the conversation he had with Da-hye earlier.
But she doesn't know that.
She doesn't know.
So now she's like...
His chicken shit ass can't like look at her. That was like the most frustrating thing. Fine, you make this mistake. As soon as other people leave the table, you go, I should have texted you.
I'm so sorry. I just felt I was in my head.
I had a conversation with Da-hye earlier. I had a lot going on.
Yes.
And she would have been like, oh, okay, that's fine.
I understand.
Why are you just like...
Because then she's like, oh, you don't even want to explain yourself.
No.
When you're acting guilty, but you don't actually acknowledge it.
Right.
What the fuck are we doing here on this goddamn day?
He comes into the
in front of my friends,
the pink house,
family,
the gold house, whichever house.
Yeah.
Comes in the house, and then instead of being like, hey, can I talk to you outside? Just falls asleep. Dong-jin.
It's embarrassing. I am embarrassed.
It's so frustrating because like... this is the trade-off. This is the trade-off. Somebody's hot, and then they don't have brains in their head. And
People can't have it all.
They really can't.
They can't have it all.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
And so you have to think about this, guys. When you think to yourself, I want a hot man. I don't know.
You're doing a lot of work there.
It's a lot of IQ labor on your behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. I just think he's dumb.
I think he's just dumb.
Yeah.
And then
It is crazy to just not say anything though.
But he knows that he's dumb. That's the sad part. And I think he beats him. I think he does. And I think he beats himself up for it. And I think that's why he gets these gloomy, like he gets these spells. And it's like, I would much rather a person be like, I know I'm simple. I'm doing my best. I'm just trying my best. But you have to own up to that. And tell her, just tell her what you were thinking.
But this is the problem too of being like, when you start to enter into even this minimal of a relationship as they have, they've been on like 4 dates, they're on this TV show, blah, 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 blah. They're not talking to anyone in the outside world. They have set up their dynamic as he is the like caregiver for her. Because now he's starting to set himself into a position where he cannot allow himself to be cared for in that way, even though that's what he needs right now. He needs to be open and vulnerable and be like, I had a really tough conversation with Da-hye that really like frustrated me and upset me, blah 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 blah. I'm not upset with you or anything. And she would be like, oh, I understand, I also have been through like hard times on the show. But he's too to do that.
He really thought that he could do this whole show like cold and just
why did he
bullet
think that?
through. No, girl, not this show.
Also, like, there's no, even if you did do that, that's not good TV either. No one wants to see that.
And it's not true
and
to your
you're
feelings.
Aware of how emotional your ex-girlfriend is. You think just ignoring her is good? Oh my God, just worms for brains. The only thing I really want to talk about, that was my favorite part of this episode, and it was very sad, but it was very incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
Haewon and Da-hye finally have this conversation.
Haewon and Da-hye have this conversation. They're picking 2 seats. They're staring out at the window and just like talking side by side.
This is how RJ loves to have a conversation with me. He will only... Wait, come here.
Getting real close.
Get in real close. He will only talk to me about like serious stuff when we are in the car, because he doesn't have to look at me. And he will open up about things and I will just have to be like, trying not to hit a pedestrian. While he's like, blankety blankety blank. Maybe I'm gonna blankety blankety blank. And I'm like, well, don't do that without at least giving me a fucking warning if you blankety blankety blank, because we got to get stuff in order. Anyway, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this resonated for you?
Yes, just staring out at the beautiful Jeju scenery.
Yeah. And it went exactly how we thought it was going to go weeks ago, where we were like, Da-hye is just going to tell her, like, I'm happy you're having a good time. You're a lovely person. I wish you all the best.
Yeah.
We knew this was going to be the conversation the whole time. And that was what the conversation was.
And that's exactly what the conversation was.
And she had a stiff upper lip.
Haewon was literally like so grateful.
So incredibly grateful. It was so sweet.
But like could see obviously like how strong and brave she's being to be able to say those things. Because that's genuinely a hard part of the show. That at this point, they don't even care. A lot of like Haewon has said, I don't even care if I match with anyone or not. I just want to get to a place that I will be okay if I see Hui-hyun walk away with someone else.
Yeah.
That's like a thing that you don't think about until you're there and you're like, oh yeah, am I actually prepared to see that?
Yeah.
They have this conversation. She gives her like the it's okay. Truly, it's okay. I want you to have. I want you. He is being true to his feelings. You should be too. However that plays out. And then Kwang Tae's, jumping up and down, and he's
Barbecue,
like, "Hey
barbecue.
guys, the barbecue is just about to start, so let's head on down to the grill.
Yeah.
And I'll whip up some Jeju black pork for y'all." And she's like, "Thanks. Let me just go freshen up a little bit." She goes into her room. Do it. Sit right in front of the camera and literally.
Looking incredibly gorgeous, by the way.
The sun is the sun is setting and it is glowing.
Golden hour on her.
And she just, there is so much sadness.
Women are so beautiful. People don't talk about it enough.
Women are so beautiful.
And shockingly, it's pretty much half of what humanity has been about for millennia.
True,
and yeah,
literally.
I still don't think people talk about it.
She in her talking head is like, obviously I had to be strong for Hyeon in this conversation, because how would she take it if I'm saying these things but emotional?
Right.
And
she also feels, obviously there's the age element where she's like, I'm the Ani. I have to be strong for her, blah, blah, blah. It's so incredibly selfless.
Yeah.
To
put aside your feelings in order for other people to move on, because they're all going through the same thing. It's so incredibly sad. And then Dong-jin is waiting around because he literally was like, not this episode, next episode we'll talk. She sees him just waiting outside, and she's like, I know he wants to talk to me. I really don't want to because I just did this. But I
do wish she had just been like, they
have this conversation,
talk to K1.
and I wish a lot of things. I wish my house was not a mess. I wish the cow
was full of milk.
I
wish the walls were full of gold.
And I wish for Da-hye to have said, I just gave Hyeon my fucking blessing, so you can calm the fuck down. But she genuinely needs an answer from him of am I even a possibility or not? I need you to tell me right now. But I think she already knew.
The only thing where I'm not on Da-hye's side, obviously, but she knows what the answer is.
So I keep feeling.
Sometimes I do think there's this thing where she
keeps being let's
I think
talk.
this is people in general. I've done this too, where I'm I just have to hear you say it.
Yeah. And then you hear it.
And then you hear it and you're like, oh, it actually doesn't help at all.
No. I need you to. Yeah.
Because you're just delaying the inevitable.
But they keep doing this thing of we'll need to have the talk. We'll need to have the talk. Okay, now you had the talk. Are you going to have another one? It just feels like nothing is actually resolved.
Yeah. It's very sad. They should not get back together.
They should not get back together.
I know I said something very different on episode 3 or whatever.
I just think that the resentments have gone in so deep that it's not going to change his way of thinking, unfortunately.
I don't think so either.
And it's such a shame because Da-hye seems very sweet and seems very genuine to her emotions.
I think they both seem very sweet, very lovely people.
Yeah. But she just can't get past that for him.
But genuinely, and I would say this is more on Dong-jin, but
he feels like a life was robbed from him.
Their relationship has soured because of that.
Yes.
And it is not a reflection of who they are as people. It's just relationships end, and that is horrible and sad.
The relationship got you to who you are today.
Mm-hmm. And it's time
to move on.
Mm-hmm.
That was the goal of that relationship.
Yeah.
And it did its thing. I don't think there's anything else. So it's hard for Da-hye. I mean, she showed up to to Kwang Tae's
And she
barbecue.
has a lot of guilt about it too.
Yeah.
Of course she does.
She shows up to Kwang Tae's jamboree.
Whether she should or not is a different story, but I'm sure she has a lot of guilt about it.
She shows up to Kwang Tae's jamboree late, and it's like, I mean, the vibes of this barbecue is
weird. It's weird. She's not in a good mood. Dong-jin's not talking. It's weird. Changjin is like trying to flirt with Yoo-jung.
Speaking of flirting.
Seok-young has her hood up.
Speaking of flirting, girl.
Oh, Kwang Tae and Seok-young? Is that what we're going to talk about? Yeah. Kwang Tae is so cute. I can't believe that
I can't believe that I am leaving the show being like, anytime he asked. I will say I love you multiple times, multiple ways.
I would
wet, dry.
What? What did you say? Wet? What does that mean? That's the face he made.
Yeah. He is so drunk.
He's so drunk.
He cannot hold his fucking liquor. He has like a bottle of soju and he is beet red. It's so cute.
I will say these are the only kind of drunk people I can tolerate being around. It's like people who are cute when they're drunk.
Yes.
If you're just loud and obnoxious, drop dead. But like, if you're cute, it's cute.
Well, you used to. I don't think you do this anymore.
I don't get drunk anymore.
Yeah. You still get the urges, but Adam will fully use the opportunity while he is intoxicated to have the deepest emotional conversations to people. And like fully was just like, I just think you're such a beautiful person and you have like so much heart and da 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 da. What I was reacting to is that you are a loud and annoying drunk. You are a loud drunk.
I'm a loud sober. What are you talking about?
Why do you think
we had to move? Our neighbor was like, oh. I shouldn't have done that.
See?
I'm just such a cute drunk.
He is basically like acting cute because it's like, I texted you, Seok-young, but you didn't text me back. And we're not going on a date tomorrow. You. And girl, the way that would fucking work on me.
Oh.
Because you know why? He is acting and looking so cute.
Oh my God.
But then like a brick of a man. Marble, bitch.
Yeah.
And Seok-young.
And Seok-young,
who is going on a date tomorrow with Hui-hyun, who texted Hui-hyun, who was like, yeah, I know,
I don't buy this at all.
She's doing it because she knows that he likes her. Because she was convinced that he doesn't.
I don't think she likes him at all.
I don't think so either.
I think she thinks he's like just, nice. Like I don't think she dislikes him.
Adam, I think she is doing it to rub it in Ju-on's face. That there are guys that are clawing to end the show to be with her. Mm-hmm. So Ju-on needs to apologize and say that
I don't know if she even likes Ju-on that much.
I think she does. I think Ju-on is her end goal.
I think she is attracted to his like I think she likes Ju-on. I just don't. She's an interesting way of expressing it.
Yes.
Let's say that.
And when she gets drunk, oh, mama, the skinship is out, honey.
Oh.
And then Kwang Tae was like, well, that's really interesting because you called me out on being too close to other girls.
He tells her about herself, which is very funny.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That I was like, I'm kind of rooting for them because there's like, well, why don't we just both be messy?
Yeah.
Why the fuck not? That's why you're here, girl.
They just both want attention.
Yeah.
And they would love to give it to
each other. Totally.
Done.
So, is there...
Put that in the mailbox and send
it. Is there anyone that you are rooting for? In this episode
I'm rooting for Yura every week.
Every week, the queen,
Yura,
reaction
baby,
queen baby. You're a baby. Her reaction to Dong-jin texting Jong-un, she was like, doing.
I am obsessed with every single reaction she does.
Yeah.
This is a promise that if she starts a reaction channel, I will end ours. So
The girl. Now that you've mentioned Yura, the Girls' Day stands are gonna come out on this and comment, be like, please react to Girls' Day jams. We're so close, girl. And I think we're gonna get. You said that the last two episodes.
I think next episode is match dates. I think 19 is X dates.
And then 20
is the finale. Who are you rooting for?
Genuinely, Jeong and Changjin.
That's your couple. Who are you rooting for solos?
Kwangtae.
100%. My solos are like Kwangtae and Da-hye.
Yeah. I want both of them to have.
I don't want them together to be clear, but I want
them to have a I can be bad all by myself trajectory.
They're gonna all these people allegedly their Instagrams might be opening up this week.
Before the finale?
Mm-hmm. Finale? Yeah. But it's probably all archived, so it might just be like empty.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. All right, girls. Tune in.
Tune in.